perform at the Grammy.
Veen and Gwen Stefani will sing a duet at the Grammys.
Also, Tony Bennett is going to sing with Lady Gaga. And by the way, you know, the Grammys do air on February 8th on CBS.
Ladies, I'll see you back on the set tomorrow. And I've got to go catch a plane. I got to get out of here. Take care.
We'll see you then, Kevin. Bye, everybody.
It's Truck Month at Payne West LeCaux Buick GMC. Get $10,000 off MSRP on all remaining 2014 GMC Sierra 4-door double cabs from your Valley Truck Commanders.
We have what you want.
Look at Ducati's regardless.
What does it do?
If that thing is activated, it will cause large-scale destruction.
Protecting her hero leads to the ultimate betrayal.
I trusted you, Howard!
New Marvel's Agent Carter, tonight at 9/8 Central on ABC.
From the Valley's News Channel, this is Channel 5 News at 5.
A family rushed to the home of an elderly woman. They say they refused to leave her side after a drive-by shooting happened outside her door. We broke the details of the crime an hour ago on Channel 5 News at 4.
Yeah, and the family worries the shooters might return. Channel 5 Steve Solis just finished putting together the latest details. He joins us live from the newsroom with those last-minute details he was able to bring in. Steve.
Well, Oscar, one of the family members says she watched the crime in action, and now the family is worried about possible retribution. Now, the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Department responded to mile 17.5 road and mile 6 west around 11:30 this morning. They received several 911 calls about shots fired in the area. Deputies arrived to find shell casings lying in the road. Now, we're told 2 men in an SUV opened fire on another vehicle. A man who lives in the area says his mother watched the shooting take place. He says one of the gunmen noticed her, that she was watching, and shot at her. Now, the man asked to hide his identity. He says he is worried for his family's safety.
We feel like our lives are in danger. We feel threatened by the situation, not knowing what's going on exactly, not knowing what caused it.
Well, right now, we're investigating the incident between the 2 vehicles, and we don't have any type of evidence to support that it's related to a fear of retaliation from the person living in that house that's also close proximity to the intersection.
J.P. Rodriguez with the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Department says they don't believe the family has anything to worry about right now. He says no one was injured in the shooting. However, he says this is still an active investigation. Now, Rodriguez says they're looking for 2 Hispanic men who were driving a maroon SUV with low suspension. If you have any information about this incident, you're asked to call the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office at 383-8114 or McAllen Crime Stoppers at 687-8477. Live in the newsroom, Steve Solis, Channel 5 News at 5.
A Customs and Border Protection officer accused of allowing drugs to pass through ports of entry in Brownsville was going to stay locked up. Jose Luis Zavala was arrested back in December. He's charged with conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute just over a ton of pot and bribery of a public official. Zavala apparently used coded text messages to communicate with Mexican drug traffickers. Prosecutors say if convicted, he faces a minimum of 10 years and up to life in federal prison for the drug conspiracy, as well as a maximum sentence of 15 years for that bribery charge. Get a load of what $4 million worth of cocaine looks like. Border Patrol agents pulled it from a vehicle this morning. Agents stopped the male driver of a truck near the river along Military Highway between the Far and Hidalgo border bridges. The coke weighed 135 pounds. This is what Weslaco agents who made the bust say about the seizure.
You know, it's pretty significant. We don't see cocaine as often as we do the marijuana load, so it is a significant seizure in regards to what we've been seeing lately here in the Rio Grande Valley.
Is the person that driver is now with the feds. DEA agents are investigating.
A Weslaco man accused of sexually assaulting a girl is in jail this afternoon. Weslaco police and U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force arrested Alfredo Cruz Guevara yesterday. Police say a 14-year-old girl came forward saying Cruz had sexually abused her since she was 6 years old. CPS first alerted Weslaco PD to the case back in August of last year.
An anonymous tip from a family member called CPS reporting that the kids were possibly being neglected, weren't being taken care of properly. When the caseworker gets out there to conduct a preliminary investigation, this girl makes the outcry to her.
Cruz is charged with aggravated sexual assault. Waseco police say they plan to make another arrest in the case.
Victims of the Hayes Salmon's chemical plant contamination could soon be seeing the settlement they were promised. Prosecutors say that more than $8 million in settlement money could be distributed by this summer. The state deemed the Hayes Salmon's chemical plant a toxic superfund back in 1986. A decade later, more than 1,800 people filed suit against the chemical company. They claim chemical contamination caused serious illness, birth defects, and cancer.
He's gonna start dishing out a little here and a little there, and that's enough for you. And get out of here. That's what I think. We might not even see it.
The mediator for the settlement says legal disagreements and complex issues involving Medicare and Medicaid caused the delays. Tonight on Channel 5 News at 6, we are going to take a deeper look into those delays. Alan?
Gorgeous day across the valley. If you like sunshine and warm temperatures, we've hit 80 most everywhere. Starting to cool off just a little bit right now. 79 in McAllen, 78 in Harlingen, 73 in Port Isabel. And along the coast is where the coolest weather is still early this evening. But everyone falling through the 60s later this evening into the 50s late tonight. Some areas can reach the upper 40s by morning with clear skies around. Looks like sunshine will rule most of tomorrow. That should mean another warm day before things begin to change coming up in your first 4 and 5 7-day forecast. Stay tuned.
50 million Americans on the East Coast either beginning to clean up or they are bracing for more snow. The winter storm hit areas from New York's Long Island all the way to New England. Moderate to heavy snow will continue through the afternoon from eastern Massachusetts to Maine. And again, parts of New Hampshire, part of that area, seeing lots of snow.
Nearly 2 feet fell in a matter of hours. Meteorologist Samara Kokinos, Channel 5 meteorologist, her brother lives in New Hampshire.
James Rowell joins us live over the phone. James, thanks for joining us. It's sunny and 80 right now here in the Rio Grande Valley. What are you seeing and dealing with out in New Hampshire?
Well, it's pretty much the exact opposite of that here.
You know, we're looking at a photo of you over the phone, James, and you are covered with snow. Your beard is too. Talk to me a little bit about the conditions. Like, how many feet of snow are you seeing there in New Hampshire?
Well, in my little neighborhood here, it's almost up to my hip, and I'm almost 6 feet tall, so probably about 3 feet. Yeah, it's pretty rugged. It's windy and wet and cold and not fun.
Well, I guess that's a picture of your house that we're seeing right now. What kind of preparations did you have to make ahead of the storm?
We just had to make sure that the snow machines were working, the plow truck was running, the snow blowers were running. You know, we had water and stuff like that just in case we lost power. But luckily we didn't lose power yet.
You know, that's excellent news to hear. Glad you all were able to make it to the store. Glad you still have electricity. But what are the conditions like? Is everyone basically forced to stay indoors? Have you seen snow plows and all sorts of, you know, road trucks out there? Anybody working yet, or everyone hunkering down?
Yeah, the road crews have been out all day. Them guys are animals. They'll stay out until it's done. But not too much traffic. I've been out a few times today cleaning up, just keeping everything able to come and go, you know, cleaning the driveways and walkways and steps and stuff. So.
All right, James, thank you so much for joining us. Hope conditions get a little bit better there in New Hampshire, and all the best to you.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, appreciate it. That's James Rowell. That is Samara Kokinos' brother who lives in New Hampshire, giving us the latest on the what the winter storm there is, how it's impacting their lives up in the Northeast. Well, back here at home, folks living in the valley are keeping tabs on that blizzard back in the Northeast, and winter Texans are from states being impacted by the snow. Wayne Mossick arrived here from New Jersey just a few weeks back. He says neighbors are lending a hand, helping him out while he's away.
Yeah, we got about 8 to 10, and the neighbors are really nice. They're helping out while I'm gone, taking care of the streets and the driveway and everything else, so I'm lucky.
Yeah, and he's lucky the neighbors are helping out because Mossick says his town has a $60 fine if the snow isn't off their driveways by noontime.
We're going to have to walk through all of this with our members, and when we're ready to move, we will.
Speaker John Boehner says the House has a plan in place to stop the president's executive action on immigration. He says all that's left is the finishing touches. The president's executive action is designed to spare about 5 million illegal immigrants in the U.S. from deportation temporarily. If the House does file suit, they have two options. They could either join up with Texas or file a suit separately. More than half of the country is teaming with Texas to stop the immigration orders. That suit filed in a federal court here in Brownsville. And a Texas judge now refused to throw out a felony abuse of power case against former Texas Governor Rick Perry. Perry is accused of using his veto powers to try and oust Travis County District Attorney Rosemary Lemberg. She was convicted of drunk driving last year. Well, when she refused to resign, the governor cut millions of dollars in state funding for her office. That funding has since been restored.
ISIS says time is running out on 2 people they are holding hostage. In 2 minutes, the new deadline the militants set.
And Mexico's Attorney General is speaking out about the 43 students who disappeared in September. What he says the evidence is now showing.
And the latest on the NFL's Deflategate. New details on how it happened later on Channel 5 News at 5. We'll be right back.
Breaking news, breaking stories. This is Channel 5 News with Oscar Adame, Melissa Correa, and First Warn 5 Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith. This is Channel 5 News at 5.
At GMC, one incredible idea leads to another, like the versatile GMC Acadia with standard rear view camera and rear park assist, or the GMC Terrain, awarded J.D. Power's highest ranked compact SUV in initial quality. And both come with GMC Pro Grade protection, including 2 years of scheduled maintenance.
Now, qualified buyers pay no interest for 5 years on the 2015 GMC Acadia. Or current GM owners get a total allowance of $1,750 on a 2015 Acadia.
How do older adults and people with disabilities find help with long-term care? With one free call, 1-855-937-2372. Talk to a trained professional and get connected to services like nursing care and help around the house.
Dale, 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 gas.
With us where the party and the savings never stop. Meet Fiesta.
Es su fiesta.
Fiesta Chevrolet Edinburgh.
It's all about that good time rock and roll at this year's 78th annual Texas Citrus Fiesta. Festivities kick off with the royal coronation of the King and Queen January 29th, and then watch the spectacular Parade of Oranges on Saturday the 31st at 3 p.m. Keep the good times rolling at Fun Fair with food and live entertainment and the Vaquero Cook-Off in downtown Mission. And don't miss the Heart of America Carnival. For more information, call 585-9724 or TexasCitrusFiesta.org. Texas Citrus Fiesta in Mission. Good times, good music, and good fun.
Roll into the new year in a new Nissan. During Nissan's 2015 event, choose from 15 models with 0% financing for up to 60 months, plus up to $3,500 cash back, or save up to $2,750 on Altima. But hurry, the excitement may last, but 0% on 15 models won't. Offers end February 2nd. Shop at your local Nissan store or choose Nissan.com. Innovation that excites.
Mexico's Attorney General in the federal district says that confessions and forensic evidence shows that all 43 students who disappeared in the state of Guerrero were killed and their bodies burned in a landfill. The Attorney General says so far they have found 71 mass graves in and around Cocula. The remains of 39 people were found in 17 of them. Only one has been positively identified. The former mayor of Iguala and his wife have been arrested and charged in connections with the killings. Japanese officials are holding emergency meetings after the release of an online message reportedly from ISIS. The message warning Japanese hostage Kinji Goto and a Jordanian pilot have less than 24 hours left to live. The video is set for a deadline for tomorrow for a prisoner swap to secure the release of both men. That exchange involves the release of Sahida al-Rishawi, She was sentenced to death in Jordan for the involvement, at least her involvement, in a 2005 terror attack that killed 60 people.
Indonesia's military stopped recovery efforts for AirAsia Flight 8501. The plane crashed into the Java Sea about a month ago. Over the weekend, Navy divers again failed to pull up some of the wreckage. The latest piece, part of the fuselage. They tried using wire ropes and giant balloons, but those lines broke. Indonesia says it will continue to work to retrieve bodies. Again, 162 people were on board the plane when it went down.
Sunny skies return again tomorrow coming up across the valley. Should look a lot like today if you look at the view from Sky 5. Lots of blue sky this afternoon. Temperatures are still in the 70s. We'll see changes before the weekend, though, in your First Warn 5 forecast next.
It's Truck Month at Payne West Laco Chevrolet. Get $10,000 off MSRP on new 2014 Chevy Silverado Double Cab Texas editions from your Valley Truck Commanders.
We have what you want.
Look at Duquettes regardless.
At Subway, a great meal starts with a great sandwich on the new Simple 6 menu. With 6 of our best 6-inch subs, like the tender turkey breast, plus any bag of chips and a 21-ounce drink for just $6 every day.
Subway.
When she says it's time for some honeydews, you better get to Johnny's True Value.
3-hour fire logs, case price $14.99. Johnny's has 20 pounds of wild bird food, $4.99. 18-gallon storage totes, just $4.99. Check out Johnny's huge selection of Yeti coolers. Start right. Start here.
Johnny's True Value, the cure for the honeydew blues.
It's a Valentine's Cajun Fest on February 14th as the Edinburgh Rotary Club presents their all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-dance, beverages galore, biggest, best, and most Cajun-feeling celebration in the Rio Grande Valley. Saturday, February 14th at the Edinburgh Hotel and Conference Center in Edinburgh, featuring the River Rock Band. Fun begins at 6 p.m., live auction at 9 p.m. Money raised will fund important community projects including scholarships, youth development, RGV Food Bank, and more. For tickets, call Edinburgh Rotary at 383-3823 or visit CajunFestEdinburgh.org.
One brand. One trusted name. Bert Ogden. Service. Selection. Savings. Save up to $12,000 off a new Cadillac CTS. Come discover a new standard of luxury ownership at Bert Ogden Cadillac Mission. Valegas.
Whether you're looking for some family fun or a professional athlete, the City of Edinburgh's 33rd Annual All-America 10K Run, Walk, and Fun Run is for everyone. Saturday, February 7th, 9 a.m. sharp, rain or shine. The fun run will begin at 11:30 a.m. The 10K Run Walk fee is $10 for 19 and over, 18 and under, $5, and 2-mile fun run is $5. Packets can be picked up until February 6th at 9 a.m. at the Edinburgh Activity Recreation Center. Register online at cityofedinburgh.com or call 381-5631. See you there.
And now, First Warn 5 weather with meteorologist Alan Shoemaker.
Temperatures hit 80 today in most of the valley, starting to cool off now. We're still at 81 in Edinburgh, 78 in Wesco. Second time we've seen 80 degrees over most of the valley this year. First time this week, though. May have another day coming up tomorrow right around 80 degrees, especially a little bit cooler, though, right near the coast. Those water temperatures are still in the 50s at the coast, so don't be expecting the 80s to bust out at the island. Temperature should still squeak out near 70 tomorrow right at the island. A little bit cool right near the coast, but most places inland right around 80 degrees tomorrow with lots of sunshine. Might see a few wispy high clouds come through, but otherwise just fairly similar day to what we had today. Maybe a light breeze from the southeast, but overall pretty quiet weather again. So satellite radar shows mostly sunny skies all across South Texas and the valley. Very few clouds anywhere nearby. And most of the high thin clouds are way out in West Texas or northern Mexico, staying away from us. So in general, pretty warm stretch of weather around Texas the next couple days. Temperatures right now still in the 70s to near 80, well up to the north as well. 78 in Austin, where it was around 80 this afternoon, still 81 in Laredo. But things will start to change as we get closer to the weekend. We have one cold front coming into the valley on Friday morning and then a stronger front by Sunday. Future Track shows a weak front off the coast fading away. That doesn't do much to our weather, but tomorrow you don't see much coming at us. Should be another sunny day across the valley. You might see a few wispy high clouds, but overall pretty bright day again. Then on Thursday, a cold front moves into North Texas. This one moves south and kind of slows up as it approaches the valley Thursday afternoon. That means Thursday will still be a warm day. Should easily be into the 70s. If we keep enough sunshine around, it might hit 80 again, but we may start to see a few more of those puffy clouds in the skies. This front kind of gets stuck right near us on Friday morning with the front in the area. Could have a couple sprinkles around, but most areas look dry and rainfall amounts look very light if there is anything, or maybe just a few drops up to about 1/10 of an inch at the very most. But Friday should be a kind of a cloudy, slightly cooler day. Most of the cold air is way up to the north, and that's where it's staying through Friday. In fact, you can see some snow on the map forecast up around Amarillo in North Texas late Friday night and early Saturday morning. But with this front in the area, that keeps at least the clouds around. Could see a couple showers on Saturday, but nothing big over the weekend. Rainfall amounts look light. We'll have to wait for the next front. We'll show you on Channel 5 News at 6 coming down on Sunday morning. That will bring a bigger drop in temperatures and maybe a few more showers. Dry weather tomorrow and Thursday, 10% or so chance for some sprinkles on Friday, but not much rain to go around. Across the East Coast, that big storm, the blizzard going up the East Coast, kind of centered about right there now off the Northeast coast. This is where snow is still falling. The areas in the white here you can see across Maine and parts of Massachusetts. Now, future track snowfall, this adds on to what has already fallen. There's already snow there, but add more onto it up in Maine and parts of the Northeast, and then another round of some lighter snow will come in by later Thursday night and Friday to put the finishing touches on a snowy week across the northeastern United States. Now, your first 7-day forecast looking warm here the next few days. 81 tomorrow, lots of sunshine. 78 on Thursday, mostly sunny skies. Clouds should thicken Friday as that front moves in, but maybe just a sprinkle or two. Saturday still looking fairly warm with a few spotty showers. Sunday is probably the day when things get stirred up with the next front. Temperatures could fall through the 60s or 50s in the afternoon, then stay chilly on Monday with some light rain showers, but no heavy rain to forecast. Just a pretty good drop in temperatures Sunday afternoon through Monday. And we'll keep tracking these fronts in your first 1-5 forecast coming up.
Pizza Hut, $11. That's right, any Pizza Hut pizza, just $11. Enjoy your classic favorites like pepperoni and supreme, or explore new flavors with Pretzel Piggy for friends, family, or just a night in. Pizza Hut, $11.
So I can wish for anything?
Yes.
A puppy.
Affordable home internet.
Well, I can make that wish come true.
Excuse me?
With Time Warner Cable's everyday low-price internet, you get the speed and reliability you need for surfing and emailing for $14.99 a month.
Until it goes up.
No, that's the price, and it's backed by their better guarantee.
Well, that sounds perfect, actually. Do you know where the nearest pet store is?
Call now to get everyday low-price internet for $14.99 per month. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
How'd you like to win a new Ford F-150? Well, stop by Hacienda Ford today and pre-register for your chance to win. That's right. Pre-register today for a chance to win a brand new F-150 Super Crew on Saturday, January 31st, when Hacienda Ford is having the biggest Super Bowl tailgate barbecue party that the RTV has ever seen. So get here today to pre-register for your chance to win, and then get back here on the 31st to enjoy the enormous Super Bowl tailgate barbecue at the RTV Truck Superstore, Hacienda Ford, Edinburgh.
Driving in Texas is the best of times. And Ford gives you the best view. With features to help you put your best foot forward and find your best route. Now get 0 for 72 plus $1,500 bonus cash or up to $2,500 cash on escape. Best wishes from your Texas Ford dealer.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Hi, I know you're hurt pretty bad, and I can help you get everything you need. Just sign here.
I'm Jesse Gonzalez. Don't fall for the Case Runner scam. It's illegal for a lawyer, doctor, or their runner to contact you after an accident. Case runners work with greedy doctors and lawyers to squeeze every dollar out of you. Your settlement can be stolen. Don't be a victim. Talk to a lawyer you can trust.
Call the J. Gonzalez Law Firm at 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Double coverage? No problem. Triple covered? Yes, please.
For a limited time at Pizza Hut, get the triple cheese covered stuffed crust pizza. Order a large for just $11.99.
Now that's game-changing flavor.
Only at Pizza Hut.
Con Mi Gente is supported by Security First Credit Union and Sonic.
Okay, the guy we are going to meet today admits he's a people person. However, he started out as a farm worker.
And then he found his ideal job. Here's Rick Diaz and Con Mi Gente.
I've been doing this almost about 36 years, sir.
Ruben Garcia is one of those who truly love their jobs. He works at the mess hall at the Marine Military Academy in Harlingen. He came to work here right out of high school.
I came and I started working. It was a little bit hard for me, but I seguí working. And
in fact, at the time, he did not own a car, so his sister drove him to work every day, but soon he was volunteering to help even the MMA coaches.
I worked in the cadet club too for a while, I think for 15 years or something like that. It's like a snack bar, and we sell hamburgers, hot dog, and everything. And I was doing that Saturday and Sunday. And it was a little bit harder, but in that time I was young. We got the chocolate and all that for the boys.
For him, it's always about the cadets and those he works with.
And then we have my friend Mary. She's been working here for us for a long time, and I learned a lot from her.
But it's not just a one-way street. When he got married after the church service, MMA hosted their wedding reception at this very mess hall.
There was a lot of help because my boss, too, he make a cake for me and everything.
And then the ultimate. For his loyal work and dedication, the founder of MMA, Captain William Bill Gary, purchased a brick paver in Ruben's honor.
This is my rock, the one of from the board gave to me. And I was real glad he gave me that.
And appropriately, it's right in front of the mass hall. His name will always be connected with MMA.
He's one of a kind. I'll tell you, he's a very unique individual, very knowledgeable. You know, if you've been around him, you know that if I had two more like him, I would never have to be here.
So you love to work and you love to, with the people you work with and everything, you got it made here.
Ruben Garcia and MMA. He admits he's a people person, and he says this job was made just for him. For Channel 5 News, I'm Rick Diaz, con mi hija.
Gilman Guy rule number 243.
Shays Butte.
Yup, ton of horsepower, plenty of torque. Can tow almost anything.
4x4?
Could be. All the bells and whistles.
Got it in black.
Does that dog hunt?
No need to hunt. Test drive the Chevy of your dreams with our huge selection, low prices, and flexible financing options at Gilman Chevy in San Benito or Harlingen.
Gilman Guy rule number 243. We speak truck.
Roll into the new year in a new Nissan. During Nissan's 2015 event, choose from 15 models with 0% financing for up to 60 months, plus up to $3,500 cash back, or save up to $2,750 on Altima. But hurry, the excitement may last, but 0% on 15 models won't. Offers end February 2nd. Shop at your local Nissan store or choose Nissan.com. Innovation that excites.
I'm not an actress or a fashion model. And I'm not trying to be one. I just want to be me. The way I look and feel is very important to me because I want my individuality to show through. Dr. Rodriguez helped me achieve the look and beauty that I desired. This is me.
RGV Cosmetic Surgery and Vein Care. Individuality perfected.
Looking for designer glasses? Get Coach, Fendi, Armani, and many more for the best prices at iMart Express. Or choose 2 complete pairs, frames and lenses for $39. 2 pairs with no-line bifocals for $99. All with a free 1-year warranty. And you can wear your glasses today. We'll text you when they're ready. You get a lot more for less. At iMart Express. Most insurance accepted.
In Brownsville next to Target and in McAllen next to Applebee's in front of Burlington Coat Factory.
Burt Ogden Harlingen Hyundai is your destination for a great deal on a new vehicle. Drive a 2015 Hyundai Elantra just $179 per month. Or the sleek and stylish 2015 Hyundai Sonata, yours just $199 per month. And with Hyundai Assurance, you get America's best warranty, 10 years or 100,000 miles. When shopping for your next new car, the best option is to take the Altus Palmas exit to Burt Ogden Harlingen Hyundai. Dale Gas.
It looks like the NFL may be zeroing in on a Deflategate suspect. Fox Sports says a locker room attendant is now a person of interest.
Yeah, that attendant apparently took footballs from one room to another before the big game. The whole thing was caught on camera.
At Media Day in Phoenix today, Patriots owner Robert Kraft stood behind his team.
I would expect and hope that the league would apologize to our entire team, and in particular, Coach Belichick and Tom Brady, for what they have had to endure this past week.
The NFL says their investigation won't be finished until after Sunday's Super Bowl.
Our forecast here looking sunny tomorrow. Highs back around 81 degrees. Very light winds from the southeast. Thursday should end up mostly sunny, about the same, at least in the mid to upper 70s. Friday, a cold front comes in, but one that should just bring clouds and maybe a sprinkle or two through Saturday. And a stronger front could cool things off more Sunday afternoon. We'll track that front for you coming up at 6 o'clock. Stay tuned.
Also at 6, frustration piled up for 7 months to the point 5 on your side had to step in. A Valley mom says a hospital messed up her child's birth certificate. In 30 minutes, a look at the problem that created.
Also, 2 inmates at the Cameron County Jail die within months of each other. On Channel 5 News at 6, why the Texas Commission on Jail Standards says they won't be investigating.
Told we have no time. Thanks for sticking with us today.
Have yourself a great evening. Bye-bye.
Closed captioning brought to you by Channel 5 and Clark Chevrolet McAllen.
Hey, Pete, check this out. Come here, little doggy. Sit.
Oh.
Sit.
You train your little doggy?
Yeah, but he's not doing any of his stuff. Shake.
Oh, maybe he's grumpy, you know? I mean, it is lunchtime, so.
Oh, right, it's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime, yeah.
Must be it. Little doggy.
It's okay. Does it taste good, though?
A little dog with a big bite. Little doggies, starting at $1.29. And save room for a molten cake sundae. This is how you Sonic.
Get huge savings on more than 300 Toyotas available, like a new 2014 Toyota Corolla for just $139 per month. Get a 2-year or 25,000-mile scheduled maintenance plan at Bird Dog Toyota in Harlingen.
Dale gas! Join us for food, fun, and live music at the McAllen Food Festival, January 29th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the McAllen Convention Center. Taste entrees and desserts from dozens of restaurants, live music by Tren, entertainment for the kids, and more. Tickets are $15, available online or at the McAllen Chamber of Commerce.
There is a job opportunity at Channel 5 for a part-time associate news producer. Applicant must have excellent writing skills and work ethic. 2 years college courses in communications or related field. Position will assist the news producer with news writing, editorial judgment, guest booking, and coordination of live shots. Must be able to work any shift, including nights, weekends, and overnight. Qualified applicants should send a resume to Tammy at krgv.com. KRGV TV is an equal opportunity employer.
You're watching KRGV, Channel 5 Weslaco.
On this Tuesday night, the breaking news, the monster storm slamming the coast at this hour. State of emergency. New England buried. Nearly 3 feet of snow in some parts. Whiteouts. Cars underwater. Homes flooded. And coast to coast now, the travel nightmare. More than 8,000 flights canceled. And this evening, the new storm on the way. Surrounded. Star quarterback Tom Brady at the center of a different storm tonight, and the owner of the Patriots now saying that the NFL could owe the Patriots an apology. Breaking developments now in the Craigslist case, the grandparents going to look at their dream car and their disappearance. Tonight, the stunning turn of events. And the Super Bowl scene stealer. But how many puppies does it really take to pull this off? Tonight, we take you there.
From ABC News World Headquarters, this is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and we begin tonight with that monster storm. This is the view from space this evening, and at this hour, burying much of New England. Tonight, millions still under blizzard warnings, a state of emergency in 7 states. And just look along the Massachusetts coastline tonight. The storm's still hitting, blinding snow, flooding. You saw that car underwater there. In Winthrop, Massachusetts, cars frozen in ice. One man salvaging what he can with power out along the coast to tens of thousands tonight. This woman a soldier in tears as she leaves her hard-hit home. There is word tonight of a nuclear plant in Massachusetts shut down as the blizzard moves through. We have team coverage again tonight. Meteorologist Ginger Z with the next storm now moving in. But we begin with ABC's David Wright on the coastline tonight.
As if blinding snow weren't enough, today flooding too. Seawater filling the streets of coastal Massachusetts. Home upon home blanketed in ice. In Marshfield, an 80-foot stretch of seawall crumbled at high tide. Pounding waves just poured over the top.
This is horrible. We walked the